But blessed is the one who trusts in the Lord, whose confidence is in him. They will be like a tree planted by the water that sends out its roots by the stream. It does not fear when heat comes. Its leaves are always green. It has no worries in a year of drought and never fails to bear fruit. Jeremiah 17:7-8. Hey guys, so welcome and welcome back to another video. I am your girl Lisa. I am so happy to be back with you guys after such a long time. I know it's been a minute since I posted my last video. To be honest, I have just been going through the motions, trying to figure out, okay, what is it exactly that my audience wants to see here on the channel. So I did decide to just take some time. In addition to that, I also graduated from school and now I am doing my 1-year return of service with my employer, and that in itself has been tough because from my very first shift until now I have mostly been working nights, from the graveyard shift to now the evening shifts from 3 p.m. to 11 p.m. So I wanted to share this story, a little bit of a testimony with you, just in hopes that during this, holiday season, it could really just encourage, someone who's just going through a tough time right now, and you just need a little bit of encouragement, or just to hear someone else's story and just know that you're not alone and that, things do get better. So as I mentioned, I have been working mostly night shifts. So with that, a lot of you may or may not know, I do not drive. Well, not yet. So in the meantime, what I do is I budget every fortnight, because I do get paid fortnightly. So I budget for an Uber, to take an Uber to work or from work, depending on the time that I'm actually working. So say for example, if I'm working the graveyard shift, I'm going in for 11 p.m. I would then order an Uber to go to work. If I'm working from 3 p.m. to 11 p.m., I usually walk, because I live relatively close to my job. And so I would walk in the afternoons, and then in the evenings, in the night when I get off, I would take an Uber home. So I usually budget the money for my Uber in a 2-week period. So recently I made a really big purchase that cost me a couple $1,000s. Now this is something that I have been wanting to do for a very long time, but haven't been able to do it. But when I made that purchase, I knew that a little bit down the road it was gonna kind of throw things off for me financially, just not for too long, but just for a little bit. So Leilani is 14 now. I explained to her, okay, for the next 2 weeks, this is how things are going to be. It's not that we don't have food or we don't have things in the house. We do. It's just Leilani is a very picky eater. So the things that are in the house, she doesn't necessarily care for. So as you can imagine, it has been very tough for her. But she has been managing fairly well. I am creative, as you guys have seen, when it comes to food. So I try to mix things up and try to make it, something that she would actually want to try. Anyways, my last shift, evening shift that I worked, I had decided to catch the bus, because of course by then I had no more money left over for me to catch an Uber. And the reason for that is because there were 2 shifts that I had actually gotten home. I got home after work, and right when I got home I was called back in to come do an overtime shift. So I had to use up more of my Uber money to get, back to work to cover those shifts. So that kind of took from, my Uber money that I had for upcoming shifts. So my last shift that I had, I basically decided, okay, my transit pass does have credit on there, so I will just use that, catch the bus, and I will come home. Unfortunately for me, I found out right after work, while standing at the bus stop, that the bus was not coming. So now I cannot afford an Uber and the bus is not coming. Yes, I can walk home, but the shortest route home is not safe. It's actually through like 2 wooded areas, and it's just not the safest place for me to walk. The crazy thing about it is, just that afternoon while I was walking to work, I was on the phone with my mom, and she actually said to me, do not walk home after work. So I told her, no, it's okay, I'm going to catch the bus, it's fine, yada yada yada. So at this point, I'm like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? Because I can't go through the shortest route. The longest route is gonna take me at least 30 minutes to get home. And as you can imagine, being a female walking on the streets alone at that time of the night, after 11, I believe it was about 11 9:09 by the time I realized that the bus was not going to come. So I said, okay, God, I'm going to have to walk, but I trust you, so let's just do this. I also remembered right in that moment that here in Canada, we have a crisis line that we can call. So if you're someone who's going through any sort of mental health issues, you can call that number, and there's always someone 24/7 to take your call. They will talk to you, and basically if you just want someone to talk to, just talk about your day or anything that you're going through, there's always someone available to chat with you. However, for me that night, apparently all the agents were busy because I was on hold almost the entire time that I was walking home. Anyone who saw me on the street, I had my phone in my hand and it was lighting. So of course, I don't think anyone would want to bother someone who's clearly on their phone at that time. So I walked, and the entire time I was walking, just hoping that someone would come on the call, I was just, just expressing gratitude and just saying how thankful I am for how far I've come, for where I am right now, everything that I have. Just telling God, that I know everything is going to be okay. The situation that I'm in right now is temporary. I know it's not going to last forever. Everything is working out. Everything is fine. And I just continued to walk home until I got to the parking lot outside my building, and I was just like, Lord, I'm here, I'm safe, I'm fine. I got into the building and I was just like, thank you, I'm home safe, everything is okay. And as you can imagine, it's cold outside and I'm walking home. I don't have any gloves, but I made it. Now I got home and I was just just going over how grateful I am, how thankful I am that I did not plan on walking home, but I did it anyways, and I got home safe. Now I remembered that I had cleaned up my closet a while back, and I had put removed some items that I wanted to just get rid of. So I'd actually posted them on Facebook Marketplace. I decided I'm just gonna sell them, sell them cheap. But I was just going over in my mind, just talking out loud to myself that, since I posted the items, no one reached out to me about any of them. So anyways, that was that. I got ready for bed, went to bed. Now the following morning when I woke up, I saw the notification from Messenger that I had a message. I didn't really pay any mind because I knew my sister Cheryl had been messaging me. Sometimes she sends me videos of stuff that she's seen on Facebook, so I just figured, okay, maybe it's Cheryl. But when I actually checked it, I realized that it was a young lady who reached out to me about one of the items that I had posted on Marketplace. So anyways, I responded to her message, and right then and there she decided that she was interested. She expressed interest in one of the items, and she paid me right away, like through e-transfer. And just like that, I now had money to cover my Uber for my next evening shift. And I was just saying, like, I wasn't worried, but I believe that God knew that it wasn't safe for me to walk home another night, so he made it possible for me to get the funds that I needed to be able to take an Uber to come home on my next night shift, my next evening shift. So I wanted to kind of share this with you just to show that sometimes we may be going through certain things and we don't really see a way out. We don't know where our next meal is going to come from, but God has already planned everything for us, that all we have to do is just trust and believe that it is going to work out. One of the things that I've really been doing lately is just expressing gratitude. No matter what my situation is, I have just been expressing gratitude, be it at work. One of the things that I really like doing once I'm done my shift is just expressing gratitude to my coworkers for a good shift. So I'll just say, thank you for a good shift. Like, the shift was really good. I enjoyed working with you. Thank you for a good shift. It's just expressing gratitude. They don't owe me anything. They're doing their own thing at work. But when we work as a team, the shift goes by a lot faster. Things are smooth. And I just want to say thank you. So I have been just expressing gratitude regardless, because a couple weeks ago, I was in a really dark place. I was sleeping a lot. I had no energy, no motivation to do anything. Of course, working the graveyard shift took a toll on me, but in addition to that, it's the holiday season and I do not have my family with me, so I usually get very depressed this time of the year. So I was just in a dark place, but I decided, I'm not gonna stay there. Everything in this life, guys, is all about choices, decisions. We have to choose. Am I gonna stay in that place, in that rut, or am I gonna push through? Am I gonna trust and believe that it's gonna get better? And that's what I decided to do. So I have just been pushing through, just being grateful. Like I said, this huge purchase that I made did kind of put me in a little bit of a tight spot for 2 weeks, but I knew that that was not going to be forever. It was a temporary situation, and in the meantime I just continued to give thanks for what I do have right now, because I knew that things were going to get better. I explained to Leilani, she's old enough now, so I explained everything to her, and so far she's been really good. So guys, I just want to encourage anyone out there who's going through whatever it is that you're going through, and you don't necessarily feel like there's a way out, you can't really see it, just believe. Tell yourself that it is going to get better, because it will. Even with me and my channel, like I said, I took a break from it because honestly I wasn't seeing the numbers. I felt like I was putting in the work, but the numbers were just, it wasn't moving. It was just not moving, and that kind of made me feel like, why am I putting in so much effort and you know, it's not really what I want, what I'm looking for from it, I'm not getting it. So that's why I decided to kind of just step away for a while, so I could just breathe and try to think, okay, what is it that I can actually put out that would actually bring my my people, my tribe, my community to me. And one of the things I recently told myself is, you know, I may not be seeing it right now, but God has already put my community and my tribe on YouTube together. It's there. It's just a matter of time before I am actually seeing it and living it. So during this holiday season, guys, I just want to encourage you, do not give up. Continue to express gratitude no matter what it is that you have going on, no matter how little you have. Just continue to express gratitude. God knows, He sees, and He will take care of everything for you. So thank you so much, guys, for taking the time to just stay here with me, listen to my story. Like I said, I'm just trying to be vulnerable. Another thing that I'm really trying to get over is what other people think of me. That has been a huge issue for me here on the channel, and I've always tried to be as perfect as I can possibly be, and I feel like I wasn't really being my authentic self at the same time because I cared too much about what other people would think. That's something that a lot of us struggle with, and I am beginning to allow myself to kind of let go of that, because I don't want that to control me for the rest of my life. Whatever anyone's opinion is of me, that's their opinion, and it's not necessarily who I am. It's just their opinion, and that's just it. So yeah, guys, thank you so much again for watching. Please like and share this video if any part of it resonated with you, or just give it a thumbs up. So I will catch you guys in the next one, and I hope that you're so far enjoying your Christmas holidays with your family and your loved ones, and I will catch you guys in the next video.